the State Department of Education has recognized 56 schools of excellence in Palm Beach County. So again, we had a great year last year. We want to build upon that success, and I really feel like it's given us a lot of positive momentum going into the new school year. And so we are going to continue what worked last year and do it even better. We had a heavy emphasis on phonics and early literacy last year, and that's going to continue. We have trained teachers with the University of Florida's Lassiter Institute on the science of reading instruction. We've added additional supplemental curriculum products to our elementary schools for phonics, using either UFly or Fundations, and those products are having a lot of success. We're going to renew again our focus on rigorous coursework, and that starts at the elementary school level with our Accelerated Math Program, or AMP, and then at the middle school level, we are scheduling as many students as possible into high school level courses. And then at the high school level, that acceleration means you're taking college level courses. So that's advanced placement, international baccalaureate, ACE, and dual enrollment. The other thing we want to continue to emphasize in Palm Beach County is career technical education. And we're making more and more of those opportunities available along with industry certifications. We know as a nation, as a school district, about 60% of our graduates go on to college, which means it's very important that we have these other opportunities through career technical education where they are career ready once they get their high school diploma. We're proud of our graduation rate. We lead the state as far as the 7th largest urban districts. We have the highest graduation rate, and we're going to keep our focus on that. We've been busy all summer preparing for the new school year, and part of that is our transition to kindergarten program. We are in year 2 of that, and so we rolled out the red carpet for the incoming class of 2037, which is our incoming kindergartners. We had back to school events, and then we also provided each family with 2 kits, one for English language arts and another for mathematics. And we complemented that with a series of short YouTube videos so that parents could start working with their incoming kindergartners this summer to teach them some of the basic skills, letters, numbers, colors, shapes, all that type of stuff. And if the families are out there and have been busy this summer, vacationing or doing whatever, it's not too late to break into those kits. Some of my best work in college was done in just a few days, cramming for exams. So. But those kits are there also as a tool as we get into the school year and to complement what's happening in the classroom every day. The safety of our students and staff remains our highest priority. And you're going to hear from Chief Mooney in a few minutes, but I did just want to remind everyone that we now have metal detectors in all of our high schools. We spent last year rolling those out in a very thoughtful, methodical way, and it was incredibly successful. So now on day 1 of this year, all the high schools are ready to go with their metal detectors. And I also just wanted to share, I know Chief Mooney is probably too modest to mention this, but our school police department, which is also the 2nd largest police department in Palm Beach County behind only PBSO, they went through their accreditation process. Every so many years, police departments have to be reaccredited. And our department received the highest possible rating of Excelsior. So we're very proud of that. And if you all would greet Chief Mooney later with just that chant of Excelsior, I would appreciate it. Our mission in Palm Beach County Schools has not changed, and that is to educate, affirm, and inspire each student in the equity-embedded system. And to do all those things, I believe we really have to provide a well-rounded educational experience. So of course that starts with rigorous curriculum, and you heard me talk about that a little bit earlier, but the other parts of that are really providing opportunities, not just inside the classroom, but outside the classroom. So we offer every athletic sport recognized by the Florida High School Sports Association. We have countless extracurricular activities, including clubs, various groups. We've got the arts covered. We have artwork, different types of classes, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional. We have a comprehensive music program, with band and orchestra. We have dance, theater. So we've got the arts covered. And then we've also, as I said, we've got athletics, the coursework, and then all these clubs. The other piece we've layered in, and we're going into our 2nd year, is what we call community experiences, which back in my day we just referred to as field trips. But these community experiences are part of a strategic plan, and we want to make sure that our students are getting out beyond just the school setting and outside of their neighborhood to see some of the amazing venues we have in Palm Beach County. So we've partnered with numerous venues throughout Palm Beach County that are actually helping to underwrite these trips. So last year, as an example, we sent all 5th graders to the Kravitz Center for performance. And it's pretty incredible because we have about 12,000 fifth graders, so there's a lot of logistics there. But it went off without a hitch, and the kids were great patrons of the arts and really got a lot out of it. So we'll be doing that again. We'll be back at the Kravitz. We're adding this year for third graders, Mounts Botanical Gardens is going to welcome all of our third graders. They're rebuilding the Cox Science Center, so when that's complete, they're going to bring in the fourth graders and I believe sixth graders as well. At seventh grade, we get our kids out into science and nature. So they're going to places like Bush Wildlife Center, Lion Country Safari, the Murakami Gardens, the Marine Turtle Institute up there in Juneau. And we're taking advantage of all these different opportunities we have. And then I want to thank Junior Achievement. They are going to host all of our juniors and seniors at the high school level for that kind of business experience. So I think that's a nice compliment to what we do in the classroom, and it really also helps accent the learning and make it more memorable for our kids. I do have one favor to ask of our families out there this year, and that's to please put a priority on school attendance. Our country has picked up some bad habits since the pandemic, and last year we had 39% of our students miss 11 days or more, and that is way too much. And every day of school counts. Really, every minute of instruction counts. So if we can all make an effort to get our kids to school each day, we will make it worth their while, and I'm very confident that our students will enjoy better academic success. And when I get to listen to the graduation speeches each year, even though we're years removed from that pandemic and virtual learning, I've heard the valedictorians and salutatorians repeatedly refer to that time of online virtual home education, and they did not care for it. They felt isolated, they missed their classmates, and so that also underscores to me the importance of being in class there for the social aspects as well as the educational. So please, everyone, do your very best to get to school each day. And that 39%, 11 days or more, that's not even, that's not one particular area of the county. That is countywide, from West Palm Beach to Wellington, you name it. So we all can do better there. And once you get to school, don't worry about meals. We are also, again, this year providing free breakfast and free lunch for all students. So we've got that covered for you, and we are staffed up. We are in the best position we've been in a few years. Right now, our teacher vacancy rate is at 2.2%, which is much lower. Last year, at this time, we were at 3.3%, and if you go back another year, we were at about 4%. So I want to thank our HR department for working really hard to recruit. And I also want to thank the school board for providing the resources and the competitive compensation package, which is also recruiting and retaining teachers to Palm Beach County. In Palm Beach County, we really enjoy tremendous support from our community and business leaders. And as an example, I'll just tell you right now, our Education Foundation is making their way across our schools, delivering over 25,000 backpacks, and many of our school board members are part of that effort to deliver all those backpacks. And all these little extra things we get, whether it's volunteers, and I want to also thank the parents that volunteer in our schools, the business partners that match up with our career academies. We've got some great examples of that where, for example, White's Construction works with the Construction Academy at Seminole Ridge and builds a house for Habitat for Humanity every school year. And we have many examples of that, and it really makes our programs that much stronger. Also, just want to point out that on November 5th, there's an important question on the ballot to continue a half-penny sales tax that helps us pay for the maintenance of our school facilities, replacing roofs, air conditioners, school buses, classroom technology, campus hardening measures. So please be aware of that. That's very important to us. And I'm going to be back later for any questions and be happy to answer those. But at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Joseph Sanchez. He's our Chief Operating Officer, and he has a host of responsibilities, and he's going to give you an update on all the work in that area. Joe?
All right, good morning, everyone. Of course, like Mr. Bergman, welcome back all the teachers and then all the students and parents as well to the school year. Also want to welcome back all of our bus drivers, attendants, and food service workers. Many of them who did work over the summer. We did have summer school, but there's some who were able to take some time off, so I want to welcome you back. A couple of things I want to point out. First of all, I want to point out, I want to encourage all parents and students who are planning to ride a bus to register your ride. So you can go to the district website. It's very easy to log on to register your ride. That's very important because that's going to tell you where the bus stop is and when the bus is going to be there to pick you up, and also when to drop you off in the afternoon. So go to Register to Ride on the district's website to get you that information. It also gives us enough information so that we can plan our routes efficiently, and we can also make sure we reduce overcrowding. We can avoid overcrowding on the buses. So we need to know every student who's going to be riding the bus, so we can make sure we can plan for enough buses and have enough seats available for every student. If you have trouble doing that with the Register to Ride, our call center is open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day, and that number for that call center is 561-357-1110. Once again, that's 561-357-1110 for our call center, and they can help you with the Register to Ride if you need that. We also introduced previously last year the Here Comes the Bus app, and that's available also. The directions for doing that is available on our website. We can show you how to sign up. You will need that, and the Here Comes the Bus gives you notifications, so it lets you know when the bus is arriving at your child's stop. You will need your student's ID number as well as the password for the parent portal to make sure that we keep that information safe. We want to make sure that only authorized people will have that information. So that's available online it is also available in the Google App Store and the iPhone App Store, where you can get that app downloaded onto your device. I'm very happy to report that our vacancy rate is down also in transportation, but besides teachers. Our bus drivers, last year this time we had about 130 vacancies for bus drivers. Now we stand about 66 vacancies right now for bus drivers, and we have 25 who are in various stages of the process of being trained and onboarding. So we're in good shape, much better shape than last year. But we continue to have job fairs every month, and we invite people to come out to those. We still have our sign-on bonuses and referral bonuses available. So if a new person coming on gets a $2,500 bonus, or if they have a CDL already, the commercial driver's license, they can get a $5,000 bonus. So a couple of things I'm going to ask, just in line with safety, as pointed out by Mr. Burke, we want to make sure that everybody is just hyper vigilant and make sure that we're keeping our students safe out there as they make their way to school in the mornings especially. You may have noticed buses on the streets already on Wednesday as well as today. That's our drivers doing their practice runs. We want to make sure that they know where they're going. They want to identify any issues, any construction issues, anything that's unusual that may not have been picked up on the routing. So that's happening. So we're doing our part. We want you to do your part as well. We want to encourage you to dress your students in reflective clothing if they're going to be out before dorm. We want to make sure that they're very visible. I'm a bike rider. I like to dress. I put my lights on, everything, my reflective gear on when I'm riding out early in the morning. I want you to do the same thing to make sure your child is very visible and easy to see in the morning. Just the general public, I want to make sure that you're watching out for students as they're walking to school, as they're biking. Some are going to be taking scooters, riding their scooters. Please just watch out for for our students out there, and make sure you stop for our buses. Please, when the buses stop and the lights are flashing, please, it's a reminder to do that. It's very important. This year, we're really enforcing the IDs, the student badges on the buses. We want students to swipe on and swipe off. That's a big safety measure for us. It may take a little bit longer as we do that. So just be patient with us as we work through that. So I just want to again just thank you for the general public for your attention and making sure that our kids are safe throughout the school year. So with that, talking about safety, I'm going to bring up Chief Mooney to add a few more words.
Good morning. I'm just going to tag on to what Mr. Burke and Mr. Sanchez have already kind of mentioned about school safety being a top priority for us. Throughout the summer, we've worked on several programs that were old. We've initiated a couple new things in addition to doing some additional training, not only with our school police, but with multi-jurisdictional or multidisciplinary groups within the district to include administrative staff, teachers, our mental health folks, and whatnot. We've done a lot of training over the summertime. The school police participate in a variety of in-service classes in addition to doing active assailant response. We practice reunification drills in case there's an emergency on a campus for whatever reason we would need to relocate people. The staff on the campuses have been trained how we would do that. We've conducted hurricane tabletop exercises with our partners at the county in order to make sure that we're ready for a hurricane should it come this season. Knock on wood, hopefully not. But we're in charge of the shelters, and our schools are used for that capacity, so a lot of our staff is involved in that process too. We have partnered again for the third year in a row with the FBI on presenting a targeted school violence awareness seminar that was held at the end of the summer over at Joaquin Garcia High School. In addition to conducting CEPTED training in order to teach a few more people within the district some of the do's and don'ts about environmental safety and things that we can do to make our campuses safer by just paying attention to what the environment looks like. With the environment piece, I know Mr. Burke mentioned it also, metal detectors, yes, day one, we're ready to go in all of our high schools. The pilot program was very successful in that we initially started with just 4 schools. We weren't quite sure how that was going to work out. It was a big success right off the bat, and as soon as the 28 schools that weren't involved in the initial pilot found out how easy it was being implemented, everybody jumped on board, and we did a gradual rollout of that throughout last year. In order to give everybody some practice, we were able to look at the little nuances on different campuses and things that we may need to adjust on the arrival processes in order to make it an efficient process. So we think we've got that drilled down to where it's going to be smooth on Monday, and every one of our high schools will have the metal detectors up and running then. In addition to that, there's been some other technical upgrades that we've done over the summertime. We continue to add cameras to some of our campuses and upgrade those. Card access readers, those types of things. But it's not just the physical security that we're looking at. We also are looking at the well-being of our students. So an additional project that we're going to kick off as a pilot this year is the addition of vape detectors on some of our campuses. It's a small pilot project that we're going to be involved in. And that's just to kind of reduce the incidences of vaping on our campuses in order to try to improve the health and wellness of our students. House Bill 1473 is probably the big talk for within the police department itself, and then in addition to working with all of our partners on the campuses, there's several different nuances to this bill. Some are new, some are not. A lot of them have to do with best practices that were already in place at the district as of last year, things like making sure that you have classroom doors locked, keeping gates closed, minimum of 1 police officer on every campus. We have that and then exceed that in many occasions. We continue to partner with our local jurisdictions to supplement our police officers that are on the campus. This year, there'll be a school district officer on every one of our campuses, in addition to some of our partners supplementing that process for us. We continue to apply our best practices and the mandatory practices, but overall, it's everybody's responsibility. So one of the big things that we've gone through this year is training on what some of the nuances of the bill are and kind of the practical aspects that fall behind that. But at the end of the day, we continue to preach that, our safety and security measures here at the district we take it with a layered approach. So we will continue to add things that we think are going to make our campuses safer. I continue to say that there's no end to our safety and security plan. We'll continue to make adjustments as we go. There's no way to say you're always 100%, so we're going to continue to aim for that, but there's always room for improvement. So with that being said, the most important piece to our security plan, no matter what technology you're adding or things that you're monitoring, the most important piece is our human factor. So we continue to say, we want to engage our parents, we want to engage our students, our staff, police, everybody. Everybody is a piece of our security plan. We have things like Fortify Florida, where if you see something suspicious or something that just doesn't seem right, you have the opportunity to go ahead and report that. I encourage you to do that, whether it's to a police officer on the campus, to a school administrator. If you see something on the campus that doesn't look quite right, please don't hesitate to ask us to come and address it and help. And with that, obviously, the safety and security piece, I'm sure that Mr. Burke's going to elaborate a little bit more with questions, but I'm going to turn it back over to him. Thank you.
Okay, I'm ready for questions.
Oh, okay, great. Hey, Catherine from the Palm Beach Post. I have a question about ESSER-funded positions. That's COVID-era funding. I know that it's running out this year. There are several teachers and employees who have been reassigned. Where are students going to feel those changes if they are? And how many employees were not able to be relocated and lost their jobs?
So we created 350 school-based ESSER positions over the last few years, and those positions were designed to help build capacity. So those were teachers that were then working like kind of in a coaching role to enhance the instruction throughout their school in critical areas like, English language arts, math, algebra. And so the ESSER funds have sunset. We have spent all those funds as of June 30th, 2024. So we're going into the school year without ESSER funds, but we were able to place all of those 350 employees into other jobs within the district, in most cases right at the same school. So some of them may be going back to the classroom or filling other jobs on their campus. So I was very proud of that. I think we managed the ESSER funds well. We didn't experience the big fiscal cliff that people were concerned about, and we did not have to lay anybody off. And hopefully that experience and the whole intent was, again, to build capacity so that all of our teachers got stronger during that period of time.
Right away. Okay. You mentioned at the beginning of the press conference lack of attendance and attendance issues writ large. What types of interventions can parents expect if their students stop attending classes on a regular basis? What type of outreach does the district do? When can they expect to be notified, and what type of interventions are in place?
So, we have a robust student information system that helps us track all that data, absences or even just being late to school. And we do have existing protocols in place where parents are notified, but we're going to ramp that up and also maybe enhance the messaging rather than just saying, your child missed school today. And we're working on this, so it may not be ready day one, but I want to do is kind of keep a cumulative total so, you can tell the parent, hey, your student was out today, and did you know that's now the 7th day of school they've missed already in the school year? Because we really just want to, again, drive that home, and we're going to up the messaging. I've asked the Children's Service Council to also help partner with us on this initiative to, again, raise awareness about just how important it is to be in school. Thank you, Catherine.
Hello, it's Al Peffley from CBS 12 in West Palm Beach. My first question is, do we have enough school bus drivers to get all the kids to school as scheduled on time on Monday? And if not, how do you plan to deal with that?
We do. We have more drivers than we have routes. And we do have support staff. We have other people that work within transportation that are not in the driver role, but they have their CDL and they're former drivers. So we will utilize them for coverage as needed. And as Mr. Sanchez said, we have another 25 in the pipeline, so we are in a better shape than we were last year. I will say the first couple of weeks of school, I would ask for your patience. Sometimes there are routing adjustments. There's students being added to the routes each day, depending on the route. And so we're in good shape. We do have enough drivers to cover all the routes. As Mr. Sanchez said, they've had, today they're doing their second practice run, so they'll be ready to go Monday. And then we have the call center should you experience an issue, and we also have the, Here Comes the Bus app, so parents can keep tabs on when the bus is scheduled to arrive.
The Florida legislature approved a bill and the governor signed it into law dealing with chaplains at schools. Is the school district going to have any chaplains on campuses, and if so, where?
No, sir. In Palm Beach County, we're really fortunate. We have the benefit of a referendum that supports our mental health initiatives, and that funds for a behavioral health professional on every campus. And then on top of that, we've got school counselors, school psychologists. We partner with over 30 agencies that provide co-located therapy, and so we don't see a gap. We feel like we're in a great position, and we have a really robust mental health program, so that's how we're addressing any issues. I don't feel like we need chaplains at this point.
Hi, Michael Hoffman, WPTV West Palm Beach. Regarding the metal detectors in the high schools, are there any conversations about adding metal detectors to the middle schools, and currently what safety measures are in place at these middle schools?
So short answer is no. I do not expect to expand beyond the high schools at this point, but all of our schools have a multifaceted approach to safety. It starts with a single point of entry. We've added cameras, gates, card access, door locks. Each school, as Chief Marie said, has at least one police officer. And so the only thing that's really different is at the high school level with that additional layer of metal detectors. But no, at this point, I'm satisfied with just covering all the high schools. We're still a leader, basically, in the state and perhaps the country to cover all of our high schools in that manner. And we'll be, we had a pilot year last year. This year we'll have the metal detectors the entire school year. We'll continue to learn from it. If Chief Marie says, we're never finished, so that I wouldn't rule that out maybe at some point in the future, but it's not on the immediate horizon.
And regarding the school ratings that have increased across through last school year. A lot of schools coming up to A, some coming up to B. What plans do you have in place to keep those ratings at A and improve those B ratings to A?
Yes, so we are on it, and that's been our message as we welcome back our principals and assistant principals and teachers, that we really want to build on this success and keep the momentum going. And it's not just about getting students to the level of proficiency. We have students that are very high achieving, and we need to push them even harder as well. And that's why we really want to see as many students taking those rigorous courses as possible. I'm proud of the class of 2024. 70% of the class of 2024 took at least one college-level course, and they generated over $150 million in scholarships. So the class of 2024 set the bar high, and now we've got our work cut out for us to make sure the class of 2025 it reaches that goal and hopefully even pushes it a little higher.
Angela Rozier, WPBF 25 News. My question, you said about the teacher vacancy rate, you're at 2.2% now. How are you going to fill those gaps when school starts on Monday?
Yes, so every classroom will be covered with a qualified professional, and it's similar to the bus drivers. We have staff on our campuses and support roles that can jump in and cover a classroom, and in some cases it may be a substitute, but we will have every class covered, and we continue to hire. And if anybody's interested in joining Team Palm Beach, they can go to our website, and we'd love to have them.
And as far as that vaping pilot program, are there any penalties for students? Have you worked that out yet, or where are you with that?
Yes, so our student code of conduct addresses vaping. That's already in place. We've got that covered in terms of discipline. And what the detectors do is alert the school administrators that someone is vaping in a restroom. It's immediate. It's like a smoke detector. It notifies the administration, and then they can respond to the restroom. Or if the students have left, there's no cameras in our bathrooms, but there are cameras in the hallways. So sometimes you can roll back the video and see who is going in and out of the restroom and dig a little deeper.
Hi, excuse me. Hi, Mrs. Burke. Wilkin Brutus with WLRN, South Florida's NPR. College dual enrollment, obviously there's a growing popularity with that, but you also mentioned that there's an emphasis on technical education. How do you balance the two?
So you make them both available, and then let the student really choose their course. We have a 7th period day in our high schools, so our kids are not necessarily forced into one or the other. They can do a mix of both. We have students that are maybe interested in cybersecurity. They can be in a cybersecurity program, pursue those technical industry certifications, but still be taking rigorous academic courses that make them a great candidate when they get to higher ed. Or for some of them may have jobs lined up, based on just the education they got from the school system.
That's good. That's fine.
All right, well, I think that about wraps it up. I really appreciate the media being here today. You guys are an important part of this whole back-to-school process to really make sure our families are informed. So thanks for taking the time to join us today. I do want to thank, my leadership team here is off to the right, and we have a great group that is really helping me from day to day. I enjoy tremendous support from our elected school board, and that's what I give, it starts at the top. They've set the tone. They've really, I think, been a very supportive board. They've gotten us the resources we need. And then when I think of Team Palm Beach, which is nearly 23,000 members strong, that's our collective workforce. And it takes all of us working together to really meet the needs of our kids. So we're excited about this school year. I want to thank the parents that will be entrusting us with their child's education. We will not let you down. Palm Beach County Schools are your best choice, and 24-25 is going to be a great year. So thanks again.